everybody. Good morning. I am back. I apologize for having gone missing. A couple of you did ask how I was doing and if I was coming back anytime soon, and I apologize. I will explain later what's been going on. But I wanted to share with you today something that Andrea at Artymaze, she's Artymaze on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And Andrea did these beautiful spring inspired, because it's February. Everybody's just waiting for spring to get here at this point. Beautiful junk in the trunk cards. And so I wanted to share what I did with mine. I did not use acrylic paint, but that didn't matter. That was not one of the requirements. It had to be bright and cheery and spring-like. Those were the requirements. So, and use the junk in your trunk, of course. So, I used these Distress Crayons. And I was able to find 3 sets at Tuesday morning and 1 on clearance at, I think it was Michael's. And for this price, I could not pass these up. I told myself I didn't need them because I have the other watercolor crayons, which of course I can't think of the name of right now, and they are in the basement and with my acrylic paint and some other art supplies. But I wanted to use these because they're new to me. So these are the 2 sets that I used basically on these. And this was the first one that I did, and I love the way it came out. Actually, this was the first one I did, and I hated it. And then I remembered how Andrea does hers. I put the crayons directly on here, tried to use water over the top of it. Hate it. Could do more work on it, but not going to, because I'm going to cover that with just some tea-stained paper and stuff as a journaling card. But I really like the way the front came out. And this one was this packaging. It's from Miss Sparkle and Company. Now this has already been gessoed to save some time, but that's what it originally looked like. And that's why it's a little darker looking than the other 2. A lot of brown on it. And I could have gessoed it again, but I didn't. This one, I am not gessoing this. I have other plans for it. I'm going to try and remember to do it in this orientation on this one, because I may use it in a journal somehow that way. And then this one I did in this orientation because I was hoping it would be a pocket. And these 2 are made from, I have about 100 of these because I bought about 100 of these at the back to school sale at Walmart. They are clear pouch binder pouches, and I use them to store a lot of my stuff in. So this is take 2 because my husband called immediately after I started this, and he didn't know I was recording, and I didn't know why he was calling. So I've told him I'm recording. Leave me alone. I'll let you know when I'm done. I'll text you. So we are shooting to make a couple of more of these. Now this one I have not cut in half. I think I'm going to leave it whole, and I'm going to do it in this orientation, and I will do something else with the back of it, a digi or just writing space or something like that, and I will fold it in half and put it in my signature when I'm done. I had used, this is a piece of paper that comes off of the Heat and Bond, has paper on it, and I use Heat and Bond when I do my fabric covers sometimes. And so I used that because waste not, want not, right? It's pretty used up, and I don't want these colors to mix in with other colors I might use, and the paper is not quite the consistency that I want. This side is not used up yet, and it has some nice wrinkles in it, which will come in handy. This is freezer paper. That's the shiny side. I'm going to use the paper side, I think. Well, maybe I'll use the shiny side. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. But I did crinkle it. I want lots of wrinkles in it, and I'll show you why. Hopefully it'll work on camera. it worked great for me the first time, and then I struggled the rest of the time with it, which is how my stuff usually works. I have great luck with doing things the first or second time, and then after that it seems to go downhill sometimes. Anyway, I wanted to make a couple more, and because I've been in a slump as far as creativity, and I haven't really done much of anything. I did a couple of little things, but nothing worthy of showing. So I am going to give this a go. Again, I use Distress Crayons instead of acrylics, but that's okay because it just has to be spring-like. And because this is take 2, I can't remember what I've already said. So there you go. All right, so start with the dark colors. So I'm going to start with this purple. And purple is my favorite color. And you have to have some napkins or some cutouts or something. These are the napkins that I have, and I absolutely love the colors in them. So many fun colors. I only give it, I don't squirt it too much because I also use a water pen. Not that one. That one stinks. Not as in smelly. It's just not a very good water pen. And then I sort of smooth this out, or not smooth it out, spread it out. You don't want it smooth. And then I'm going to give it one more mist from back here. And I am going to stick this onyx. And see, that's exactly what I want. I want that spotted effect, nothing too solid. And I'm going to do it as much as I can. All over here. And try and soak that up. Now, I will warn you, I am going to be using my heat gun during this process. Everything dries rather quickly. If I find it's too annoying when I review the video, I will edit the video and speed it up, but I try not to have to edit the video. Just because I'm lazy and it's time consuming. Heat gun. I'm turning the heat gun on. Turn your volume down or fast forward through this part. There. Heat gun done. Turn the sound back up. Okay. All right. That'll dry. Alrighty. And then I'm going to put some green in this one. And I found that I do have to do them rather thick. And then just spread it around. That one looks plenty wet enough. Try to get the green off of my pen there. And Andrea, this is Andrea's method of doing this, and I absolutely fell in love with the look you get from it. And so I wanted to learn it and get better at it. I don't know if that's happened yet, but heat gun. And the wrinkles in here, I believe, are what helps this be so marbled, kind of. And that's what I really love about it. So I used purple and green. So then I will turn it this way, and I'll use a little blue. spread it around a little. Well, that's not going to be nearly enough blue. Not for me. These are a little tough to turn sometimes. Okay. And I'm trying to hurry because it is sort of a long process, and it can take a while, especially with the drying in between. So I don't know if this will all fit in one video, but I'm going to try anyway. Because why not, right? And that may include, I might be able to get it in one video if I edit and I combine more than one video. My iPad can only record so much at a time, but if it goes long, then I will either split it into 2 videos or condense through the heat gun part, which I'm sure you'll all appreciate. Okay. Alrighty, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. And the other thing I like to do, I figured out yesterday, is if I do a bit of blue, and then I do a bit of green next to it, just one stripe, because the green is overpowering, I can get a teal, which, if you look at the napkins, there is some teal in it. I just want just a little bit. Just a different dimension of color. Oops. And you do get colorful hands from this. I will say. Okay. Now, isn't that beautiful so far? I really love it. Okay. So now I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to do some lighter colors. I'm going to do, this is Festive Berries, but what I'm going to do, I don't want too much of it, that's probably too much, is I'm going to take the white from this pack. I was lucky enough to find one with white in it. And I'm just going to put a little scribble right next to it. You can't see that. It's just a thin line of white because I want more of a pink. So we're going to get the teal out of this, hopefully. There we go. Can you see the white mixing in now? A little more pinkish. Trying to get the pink off my brush now because I'm trying to go lighter and lighter in my colors. So we're just gonna little dab will do ya. And it just starts to look very spring-like now, because you're adding lighter colors in. And it just adds a bit of depth. See? And I thought this would start looking very muddy, but it doesn't once you start adding the brighter colors in. So I'm going to do See what I mean about your hands? It's fun though. It's kind of almost like kindergarten when you finger paint. Where's my brush? Yeah. All right. I might have to do yellow twice. It's not very much. But that's okay. You can do yellow twice. It's your project, right? Oh, that's pretty. I like it. I need some more yellow though. Okay. Light spritz, not too much water, because the water does dilute the crayon a bit, the color a bit on the lighter colors. Okay, let's get over here. Yes, that's working nicely. I like it. Alrighty, put some over here. Okay. Another way you can do this is if you want some color, just a touch of color in other places, like I want some down here, I want some up here, I want some in here. Some of these bare spots, because this is a brown background, I want a little more brightness to it. So then you can just take your water pen, if it wants to water brush. Mine is not cooperating. Just sort of, you don't want a lot because then it'll come out blotchy instead of this nice speckled kind of marbled look. But that's okay. If you just use a little bit, you're just putting a few little highlights in here and there. There you go. I like it. I think my water brush is not cooperating. There we go. Helps if you press the right thing that says, press here. So, what's been going on with me? Well, I've had some issues with pain. I have a lot of inflammation in my body. I have a lot of arthritis, and I've had a bad right knee for over 30 years now. I actually had my first arthroscopic knee surgery on it when I was 33. I'm currently 63 and will be 64 in May. So I've had a lot of trouble with it, and I went to a very highly recommended doctor who had very little personality. Very little. He looked at the wall while he was talking to me. Yeah, so this doctor, my husband is retired Army, and we have TRICARE insurance. And I have oftentimes walked into a doctor's office and felt that because the insurance company that we have only pays a minimum to the physicians, I have felt a few times, not I don't know, I guess not that often, but often enough that it affected me, that I felt that they treated me a little less than. I don't know. Maybe it's just the doctors themselves. And I know surgeons can be either very personable or not really personable. And so I just didn't appreciate the way this guy treated me. Like, I really didn't expect him to say, oh, well, you need a knee replacement. I really didn't expect that. I expected him to say, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. Basically, he said, your knee is trashed and you need knee replacement surgery. And that's the only way. And oh, by the way, how does your other knee feel? And I said, well, it's taken a lot of wear and tear over the years because, you know, I have to sometimes baby the right knee in order for the left knee to, the left knee has to support my right knee, my body for my right knee compensation, I guess. And so he was very like, well, that one's going to need to be replaced too. And I thought, you haven't even looked at an x-ray or an MRI of my left knee. You have no idea what it looks like. And why would you tell me that now? As I said, I'm 63 going on 64. And, you know, the saying goes that you get a replacement, hip, knee, shoulder, whatever it might be. Knees, they say, are only good for 20 years. Well, you know, that puts me at 84. Do I want to be a cripple at 84 or need another knee replacement surgery? Not especially. So I was a little taken aback. Other surgeons over the last 2 years have told me I'm too young. They won't do it because they only last 20 years. So, you know, there's that. So I sort of got upset. Well, not sort of. I got upset. I didn't take it the right way. I wasn't expecting it, really, honestly. And I was very unhappy the way he treated me. As I said, he looked at the wall the entire time he was speaking to us. My husband was with me. So I am not making this up because he said it too. And I take offense to that. I think, you know, I saw him interacting with a male patient after my appointment. I was waiting in the doorway of my exam room for his assistant nurse, whatever she is, office person, whatever, to come back and talk to us about surgery. I'm going to set this one aside. How much time do I have left? I am not going to set this one aside. I'm going to turn the heat gun on and stop talking and either... That's enough. It's still, it's mostly dry. Yeah, it's mostly, there's a few wet spots, but I wasn't even drying that part. That's why. All right. So it's a little dull looking, but the napkins brighten it up. So I'm just going to go with it. And like I said, I don't know if I'll be using this side over here. It may get cut off. So I'm going to be sort of cognizant of that, not put anything too much as far. Anyway, I'm just going to pay attention to that. I'm sorry. So I have these napkins, and I thought with the bird nests and everything, and it's got all the right colors in it, that it'd be a good napkin to use for this sort of thing. And I just love the little bird's nests. So I'm going to go with this bit right here. I'm going to go down here and probably around here and then up and over. If my water pen will cooperate, and if it won't, I need some water in there. That's enough. And, okay, back to the doctor. So I walked out of there quite not happy. I have an Irish temper, and I can get quite upset if I am not happy with the situation. And my poor husband, who is of Italian descent, yeah, he doesn't know what to do with me when I get that way. Because I can get quite feisty, let's just say. Anyway, so we walked out of there, and I was indecisive about what I wanted to do. And so I had told the doctor I wasn't really expecting that news. And he said, well, you know, if you don't want to do it, then you don't want to do it. You know, good luck. And I thought, yeah, no, don't blow me off. I don't get blown off easy. So, yeah, I thought, the heck with you, buddy. So we walked out of there, and I did ask a friend of mine, who is a nurse who's getting ready to retire. She's in Northern Virginia, who she recommended. And then another friend of mine texted me last night, messaged me on Facebook, and said that her husband has had several knee surgeries, but they have not gone well. He's basically almost crippled, and he doesn't have much muscle left to hold his new knee on, and he walks with a cane, and pretty much he is disabled, and he has to take morphine. I think it's morphine. That's how bad the pain is. So anyway, and he's not older than me, so there's that. But he had his pretty young. I think it's been at least 20 years since he had his first one. So his did not go well, but he sees an excellent doctor now, and come to find out, it's the same doctor that my nurse friend recommended. So, that was reassuring, and supposedly this doctor is world-renowned. The problem with that is that it's a couple of hours away from home for us. So for me, that means that it'd be travel time, it's time away from the dogs, it's a, let's see, where do I want to go with this? Now see, my napkin is buckling a little, and I think that's because my brush has too much water in it, but I don't know. I don't like it when that happens, but I gotta leave it alone and let it dry and then deal with it. So, leave it alone. Leave it alone. All right, what do I want to put on there next? I think I'll put these little purple flowers on there. And so, I've made an appointment with another doctor. I've been to this other doctor's office twice before, but I saw the physician assistant there, who they like to be called PAs, not physician's assistants. And I was told, you have to lose 30 pounds and keep it off in order for us to consider doing knee surgery. So I went home, and over several months, I lost 30 pounds, plus some. Oh yeah, I like that there. Plus some. And I went back to the doctor's office and saw the physician's assistant again. And he said, oh, good for you. You lost 30 pounds. We're still not going to do anything for your knees. Again, screw you, buddy. I lose it. I just lose it when I'm treated like that. I just can't handle it. So, yeah. So I wasn't happy, needless to say, as you can well imagine. And but I've seen reviews online for the doctor himself, and people say he's very personable. He's he did right by them and blah, 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 blah. So I am going to try and get in and see the doctor. He's a doctor that's down here closer to where we live. And if it does not turn out well again, I know I need to lose weight. I gained the 30 pounds back. I'll be honest with you. I gained that weight back. Almost all of it. And it's not good. I know, but I don't handle stress well. I don't drink alcohol. Don't do drugs. Don't what am I going to do? I do this, but it doesn't always take care of everything. All right, it's time for a butterfly. So, I decided that I was not going to, I can't let stuff get to me, right? I can't. It's not healthy for me. It's not a good thing. And the problem with these butterflies is they overlap. So it's really hard to get one butterfly and call it a happy day. So I don't know. You have to sacrifice other butterflies for the one you want. So it doesn't always make me happy. I'm a very frugal person and don't like tearing up a whole napkin and wasting other butterflies for the one I want. But you got to do it. So, anyway, yeah, I don't know. You can't get into a surgeon until, like a month down the road anyway. But I'll be honest, I have occasionally some problems with depression. And I let that get to me. I let the whole conversation get to me. And the thing that drove me to go see the doctors was that I was in an extreme, and I mean, I can take a lot of pain. I've had a lot of things happen to me. I have fallen off of racing horses, not race horses, but horses bolting away. I have broken things. I have ruined tendons in my shoulder. I've had bone spurs in my foot, my knee, my shoulder, my feet, I should say, not just my foot. I've had numerous surgeries. I've had a massive heart attack and died. I've been through a lot. So I don't usually whine over some pain. But my right leg has been really extremely painful. And so I finally went to the PA that works in the family physician's office. And I am not going to do anything over here or anything over here because, like I said, I think I may be folding this over and putting it in a signature. And I may be gluing something to that. So I'm going to leave that for now. But that's how this one came out. And then we're going to, let's see, I have about 25 minutes. So I think I will do the white one if I can find where I put it. Let's do this one because it'll come out a lot brighter. And I really like that. And I want to share that with you. So what I'm going to do is get the crayons back down because I put them up. Silly me. So I'm going to work out of this pack this time. I worked out of this pack. So I'm going to switch back and forth. But we're going to just mess around with this some more. Okay. So enough of that whining. Well, not really. I have to tell you the rest of the story. So the rest of the story is the PA gave me, this is in my family practice office, she gave me a prescription for prednisone. So I took that. It helped some, sort of, kind of. Well, right after, I had a lot of side effects to it, so I didn't love it. Right after that, I no sooner finished taking the prednisone and I pinched a nerve in my left hip. So not only could I barely walk with my right leg, now my left hip is like sending electrical stimulation, nerve ending kind of crap down my leg. And I was entirely 100% probably more miserable than I had been in a long time. I mean, like I said, I've been through some stuff and you forget pain after a while, but this was excruciating. Like, I almost forgot about the pain in my leg because the pain in my hip was so awful. It was unreal. Like, totally not cool. So, yeah, I had a lot of pain for about 2 weeks. And I'll be honest, I was a very unhappy camper. And I was very out of it. And I can't even begin to tell you that how much time I actually spent on the bed, in the bed, icing, and trying to control the pain. And it was not fun. It was not a barrel of laughs at all. So, yeah, there was that. And then the whole idea of needing surgery quite depressed me. I am going to spread that out a little bit because that is very, very dark. I don't know if I want it that dark on here. We'll see. Oh, I think that'll be okay if I just do little bits here and there. It's sort of along this color here is what it'll be. So I think it'll be okay. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Now I mixed the darker blue and a darker green to get that color. It's a darker, almost teal. Yeah. Yep, I like that. So, yeah, I was pretty laid up. I couldn't sit at my sewing machine. I couldn't sit at my craft table. I couldn't focus. So, the doctor, the PA, I had to go back to the PA. Now, this is all within a week. A week. I went back to the PA and said, I have a pinched nerve. I can't take the pain. I am gonna, just die here. I just can't. I can't. So she was like, okay, we can take care of this. So then she gave me an anti-inflammatory. And the anti-inflammatory helped a lot. The problem with it is, I read the warnings and went online to read more side effects and warnings. And if you have heart disease, any heart issues at all, you are not supposed to take this drug. And she knows I had a massive heart attack in 2007. And she's like, nope, it'll be fine. You're okay. You can take this. After reading the warnings, I had taken one. And let me tell you, this anti-inflammatory, it's not a pain pill. It's an anti-inflammatory. This was magical. It took all of my pain away. It took away the hip twitches. I took one. It took away the hip twitches, the pinched nerve. It took away my knee pain. And I was able to go to the gym and work out. And I was able to walk. I also have an issue. I'm a mess. I have an issue with my left foot with the tendons in it. They tell me it's arthritis. Again, they tell me it's arthritis. And that was bothering me. That has let up. But I really don't feel safe taking this pill. So yeah, quite frustrating. I did take a half a pill after that when everything started acting up again, because mentally I just cannot cope. I just cannot cope with all of this. I have many plans for this spring, summer, and fall for traveling. And we have not been able to travel because last year, as you know, if you've watched any of my old videos, I talk about our older horse who was very sick. And she eventually passed away. We had to put her down because, you know, it just wasn't fair to her anymore. So, there. I like that. Now, I'm not going to put any more colors on there, I don't think. I like it just the way it is. So, I'm going to leave that. And I am going to just touch it real. During the time of all of this happening, I had orders for 5 ephemera folios, and it was a struggle for me to get those done. And so I have not put anything new in the shop. It's been very hard for me to get things done, like I said. And so I am going to, I did, in the days that I started feeling better, the last few days, I did put together those butterfly kits, the ones that are, I have the napkins, the fabric, and the big paper placemats that are huge, 11 by 17. I did put some of those kits together. I have not photographed them because it has been awful and rainy and crappy here. But today the sun is out, and I am going to try to get those photographed this afternoon. And I am going to get some sewing done. I think I can sit at the sewing machine for a little while. I have to be careful. I don't want to aggravate anything. I did aggravate my knee this morning getting into the bed after I'd gotten up and used the restroom. So, yeah, there's that. But I am now taking large doses of aspirin. And although aspirin has its own side effects, like excessive ringing in my ears, I have taken aspirin for a very long time for other issues, and I am just going to stick with aspirin, even though this other drug was like a miracle drug for me. If it can cause me to have a stroke or a heart attack, I just can't. I can't bring myself to take it, because then I have a huge anxiety attack, which doesn't help anything. And that gets my heart racing, and then I just scare myself. So I am not going to take the other drug. So yeah. For someone that doesn't have any heart issues, it's probably fine. But, you know, sometimes the cure can do more harm than good. So, don't know that I like that one. I'm just going to tear the butterfly off. Okay. I like the butterfly. I like this. That's got all the right colors in it. This will do over here. And my tummy is growling, so excuse me for that. I am doing intermittent fasting. Several people have talked about it. I think Rachel has talked about it. She does it on Roxy Creations. And I am going to try desperately to do it to manage my weight. And I know it takes time. I'm just not a very patient person. Weight is really easy for me to put on and very difficult to take off, which I am sure everybody finds the same issue. So, yes, I like that. We'll put this over there. That fits perfectly. I think that needs to go up there. Or maybe, I don't know. I need something else down there, but I don't like this one. So that's going over there. Gotta get a little purple in there, don't we? All right. You go over there. Don't blow away. So I am only trying to eat during an 8-hour period per day. And that is tough for me because I love my food. And so, as I said, I don't drink. I have nothing to fall back on. I love my ice cream. I love my potatoes. Yeah, I'm a foodie. I just... French fries, ice cream, milkshakes, you know. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And you can't, you know, if I could go cold turkey, I like that. Yes. Is there room for my butterfly, though? Not this butterfly. I want to tie all of these together with... That's too many butterflies too close together, I think. Put this guy. No. Put him up here. Yes. Yeah, it's tough. You can't go cold turkey with food. If you do, you starve. So yeah, there's that. And it's tough. It's so tough. I'm going to the gym. Initially I lost that water weight, that 5 pounds you can lose. Haven't lost anything since. In fact, I gained a pound back. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why. I mean, I'm moving more than I have all winter. Because I was able to walk better because of the drug I was on. Once I stopped hurting, I was able to move better, but can't drop the weight. So, oh yes. Yes. I like that. Can you have too many butterflies? Gotta remember, this is gonna be folded in half. Oh, I like that. Okay, we're gonna throw this together really quickly. I have 10 minutes. So what am I gonna use? I guess I'll use the Collage Page. Collage Page to the rescue. It's quite wet, which is why my napkins buckle. But on the same hand, it really does the trick for me. As far as I don't have to mix glue. So that's why I like it. Let's make sure we get this on in the right place. Okay. One more up under here. Oh no, stay there. So yeah, so that's my tale of woe. I don't need sympathy. I'm not trying to whine. I mean, I'm a whiner, I guess, but I'm trying not to whine. I really am. I don't like to feel weak. I don't like to feel like my plans for this travel thing are being waylaid. I don't want to have knee surgery this summer if I don't have to. That being said, if the next doctor that I go to, the local one, if he says, yep, your knee is trashed, you really need to take care of this sooner rather than later, then our plans for May, June, probably June, July, and August, because we really don't travel during that time frame anyway. So if he has openings for that time frame, we will probably, now that doesn't fit because I put that up too high. Dang it. Dangity dang dang dang. We will probably, you know, not do it. If he can't get me in during that time frame, I am probably going to put it off until winter. And though my husband doesn't like it because, you know, when you're talking, you have to go to doctor's appointments and you have to go to therapy and all this other crud. I'll put that up there. I'm putting that up first. I'll fit the other stuff around it. Then, you know, that's just going to have to happen. If next winter is anything like this one, we've had 2 snowfalls with like an inch each time. So maybe a couple inches. So I'm not really worried about it. He worries more about that crap than I do. And I let him because he's the worrier. And I just let him have at it. You know, I don't have time to worry about the little stuff like that. To me, that's just unnecessary. You can't control the weather. All you can do is do what you got to do. And yeah, put it there. I don't think this is where it was, but that's where it's going. So, blend in there, please. So I am not looking forward to it. However, if it's what I've got to do, then it's what I've got to do. I think I'm going to put that little guy right. I'm going to tear right down here. Goodbye, antennae. Yeah. So I'm going to just deal with it as it comes. I am back on the crafting bandwagon, and I am happy to be back. There will be some new things going into the shop eventually. I forgot to stamp on this, so now I'm upset that I forgot to stamp on it. So I'll put a little on, maybe. I don't know. It's fine the way it is, probably. Let's see, what else can I put on here? I can put a little of this on here. Right? I mean, why not use the napkin? It's got stamping on it. That's what we'll do. There we go. Blends right in. Ta-da! Yeah, so I am back, and hopefully I can continue. Now, we will be going away in April, and we will be traveling. So I will not be doing any ahead videos, I don't think, because I don't really do videos every day anyhow. Other people are much better at that than I am, like Gail and Rachel and Andrea, and I'm just doing, you know, I take other people's ideas and I try and do my version of it. So I'm not very good at coming up with original ideas of my own. So I appreciate everybody who shares theirs, because those of us that are not the best at, you know, coming up with our own thing, we need all the help we can get, is how I look at it. So I think I am going to try this bit here. Now I know I'm running out of time, and I hope you've stuck with me this far. And if you have, if you'd like to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't, I am creeping up on 900 subscribers, which is weird and exciting. I had no intentions of ever reaching 1,000. It would be nice. And of course, if I do, I'll have a big, huge giveaway. But, I like that there. Blends in with the other blues. So yeah, I mean, you know, I appreciate all of my new subscribers. And, oh, the other thing is, I did get to work on one. I don't like that covering that flower. I want this blue down here. I'll just put it over there a little bit. Cut that off. Okay. I hope I'm on camera. I hope I've been on camera. I don't know if I'm going to be making any more of these. Okay. So, what was I going to say? I have been working on a couple of more of the faux handmade papers. I did one with rosebuds that's really pretty. I will get those scanned sometime this week. So a set 2 will be coming, and I want to thank anyone who has watched and purchased those from my shop, or anything from my shop, from my Etsy shop. You have no idea how much it means to me that you have appreciated what I did. I have a very hard time giving myself credit when I do something well. Like my hands? And so it's been a challenge. And hearing the little cha-ching when it goes off is very much fun. And, you know, it means a lot that you liked what I did. Really, honestly. That's what it boils down to. For someone like me that has very little confidence, it means a lot to me. So this is the one I just did. And this one I will probably fold in half because it's too big for anything else. I could fold it in half and make a pocket out of it, a side pocket, a tuck spot. I can't show you right now because it's wet and I'm not going to turn the blow dryer on. And then I did this one as well. And you can see with the cardboard background, it's a little duller, but it's still very pretty in my opinion. And this one came out really nice. I like this one a lot. So I am on Instagram as MJ Manigros. I am on Facebook as Martha Manigros, but I don't, you know, I don't have a group or do a lot of, I mean, I do post. Usually if I post on Instagram, I share it with my Facebook page, and that's it. And then there's that one, and that's the one I did. These 3 I did before, not on camera. And then these 2 I did. I really like this one. I think I've gotten better. And see, I didn't need to print. I mean, stamp. I could put a little stamp down here maybe. But, you know, I think it came out okay. So, thank you. Thank you for watching. I love you guys for being here, for sticking it out. I really appreciate all of my subbies. Those of you that have written to me and said, are you okay? I really appreciate that. I am better now. It's something I'm going to struggle with this year. When to get a knee replacement, how to get a knee replacement, with whom to get a knee replacement, who am I going to let do that to me? And, you know, the recovery is 3 months, and the first month is the hardest. The first few weeks you're at home, you have a physical therapist come to the house, and it's torture. I've been told it's really, really, really hard. And I don't do pain really well, but I can be really stubborn about exceeding, not just meeting, but exceeding what is expected of me during physical therapy. Pain pills cause a lot of problems for my body, but you have to take the pain pills to get through it. So I don't know how I'm going to manage that, but I will. Meanwhile, we are going to go on our trips, and I am going to enjoy traveling as much as possible. My husband is going part-time, and his job requirements are going to change. So he won't be as tied to his telephone and computer as much, but we'll still have some money coming in from that, which is what we need because we're not old enough to really, I mean, we could, but we don't want to yet apply for Social Security. But I want to go live my best life. And part of that is traveling and seeing and doing things I haven't been able to do up to now because there's always been excuses. And I told my husband, no more excuses. And this knee is not going to be an excuse. I am going to push through it as hard as I can, taking as much aspirin as I have to. So you guys take care. Thank you for listening. You guys are my therapy. I hope I don't lose any of you over this. Have some fun. Pull out some colors, some napkins, some watercolors, some acrylics, some crayons, but have some fun, okay? There's nothing happier than seeing something like this come out and you did it. So thank you. Hugs to everybody. Happy crafting. Again, love you guys. Bye. Take it easy. Have a great weekend.